Hi folks, today I can share more exclusive info about the Sony A7V, a camera that will be announced on December 2 at 3 p.m. London time, and you can follow the live blogging on sonyalpha.com, so this is the website. There we collect all the info about this camera with pre-order links and reviews and so forth, and also you can follow this channel because I will have a live stream where we will have the possibility to chat about this camera and see if it's really as good as expected, okay folks? Today I will share a couple of more rumors, basically all good news except one less good news, but we already expected this, so it's not really a deal breaker, okay folks? Before we kick off, the usual reminder, first of all, like this video because it helps in the YouTube algorithm, and many do copy my rumors after I post those kind of videos, and I'm, as you know, often the first to share exclusive info for you, and the others do try to capitalize on this, so liking it would help me to just make this small channel grow a little bit more, okay? And to not miss any of the upcoming rumors, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button. So in my last video, I told you the Sony A7V will have a 33 megapixel partially stacked sensor with 30 frames per second in electronic shutter mode, 10 frames per second mechanical shutter mode, and it has no crop at 4K 60p. A crop that was there on the Sony A7 IV and even on this year Sony FX2, so the Sony A7V will even beat the FX2 when it comes to the video performance, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, probably Sony felt the heat of the camera R6 Mark III and said like, now we have to go full in with this camera. Okay, before to talk about the specs, just note, today Black Friday started, and in the description box below you will see links to all the Black Friday pages of Amazon US, Canada, Europe, Australia and so forth. Click on those links to check out the deals. And if you order anything within 24 hours, I get a small commission. You don't pay a cent more, and that's a super nice way to support me on this YouTube channel. So definitely, you would help me a lot if you do that. I will also add some links to special deals that I personally think are very interesting, so that you have a selection of the most interesting stuff. Anyway, on sonyalpha.com and the other rumor website, I have a full list of deals with links to special deals so that you don't miss anything that could be potentially very interesting. There are some cool deals, and I made a job to filter through all the websites from all Amazon stores worldwide to see what's most interesting for my readers. On the rumors, I have Sony deals. For the rumors, I have the Micro Four Thirds deal, rumors, Elmont deals, and so forth. So check them out. It might be a helpful start for you to find the right deals and don't miss anything. Okay, that was the introduction. Now back to the Sony A7V coming December 2, 3 p.m. Remember this, okay? sonyalpha.com, and this channel will be live for this event. Okay, let's kick off with the new info. In my last video I told you the camera can do 30 frames per second in electronic shutter mode. I got an info from one trusted source. I wasn't able to double triple check it, so keep it in mind that even if it's a trusted source, usually he doesn't always write stuff. He might have understood something wrong or miscommunicated something, so there's always a small margin of error until second, third source doesn't confirm it. But he said the camera can do 30 frames per second in 14-bit RAW. And this is way better than the Canon R6 Mark III. They can do 40 frames per second, so 10 frames more, but in 12-bit, so it's limited. This one can do 30 frames per second, 14-bit RAW, which makes it a really interesting camera for sports and wildlife shooters. So the only downside, not really downside, is the source told me that the buffer isn't as long as on the A1 II, but I think you can deal with it. This camera costs less than half than the Sony A1 II that is priced at around $7,000. This will be priced close to $3,000. So 30 frames per second RAW 14-bit sounds superb for me. And the next great news you were waiting for, many asked for it, drum rolling, it has pre-capture. So the combination of 30 frames per second RAW 14-bit with pre-capture make it a really cool camera, in my opinion, for the value, for the price you're paying for. And only those two specs will make it probably a hot seller among sports photographers, wildlife shooters, and everybody that needs speed. This is great, so I'm very happy. A source also told me that the autofocus is very fast. That was expected because it has the new AI chip, and autofocus is calculated 60 times per second. So the sources testing the camera said like, this is a terrific camera for sports and wildlife. So I think when it comes to autofocus and frame rate, if the 14-bit are confirmed, it overall will beat the Canon R6 Mark III in that area. That's my opinion. But of course, we have to see the real world testing. Also, the devil is always in the details, so we have to see if what else the camera can do or cannot do. What else can I tell you? So the Sony A7V will have composite RAW like the Sony A9 III. So that's something that you see actually on the leaked image, where compare the Sony A7V with the Sony A7 IV. On the menu, you see the composite RAW option. One thing that is not great, but we actually expected it. It's confirmed the camera has no open gate. So this is a bit of a downside compared to cameras like the Canon R6 Mark III, the Panasonic and so forth. They all have open gate. Sony doesn't give us open gate. Just to end this on a positive note, this is just a software limitation. I think Sony could decide at any time to give us open gate, so we should keep pressing on Sony and ask for open gate. This is something they could give us down the road with on the Sony A75, and I think there's a legit hope that they will do it, because now they have become really good with firmware updates. We saw it on the Sony A12 in the A9 III that got massive improvements through the last firmware update released 2-3 weeks ago. So Sony has become much better on that, and I think they will take into consideration some of our asks like OpenGate or other features that you would like to see improved on a camera like the Sony A75 that is coming December too. So those are the specs that I can share today. If some of the sources can please confirm me indeed that it's 30 frames per second, 40-bit RAW like the one trusted source told me, contact me here or use the email address, the contact form here. The email address is on this side. Anyway, if you have any info about this camera or more images, or also more info about the competition models that will come in January and February, because I heard the Z9 2 is likely coming. Sony will again have an announcement probably for lenses. Canon, Nikon I told you already, Panasonic, OM and so forth. So there's plenty of stuff coming in January and February, and I'm already working on that stuff. So sending me some info here is very helpful. The wrap up here about the Sony A7V specs is that the camera has a 33 megapixel partially stacked sensor, 30 frames per second electronic shutter mode, 14-bit RAW, 10 frames per second in mechanical shutter, 8 stops IBIS, it has pre-capture, it has no open gate, it has composite RAW, 4K 60p no crop, new AI chip like the Sony A12, the same articulating screen slots and design of the Sony A7V, no C5 button, that dual USB-C port, improved EVF. I don't know the resolution of the new improved EVF yet. The price is close to $3,000 and the announcement will happen December 2-3 p.m. And again, a reminder, the camera will ship out before Christmas in limited quantity. So if you want to get the camera to shoot your Christmas party images, definitely pre-order the day of the announcement. Even if you're not sure if this is the camera for you, I would always suggest you pre-order. You can always cancel pre-order or send back the camera, but at least you don't have to wait till February. If by chance this is going to be a great camera and many will pre-order it, I suspect there will be delays in shipment. Overall, based on the specs we know so far, comparing the Sony A75 and the Canon R6 Mark III, let me know in the comment system what you think about this. Of course, we miss all the part regarding the video where I'm working on it, but I can tell you if the sources are telling me the truth and are sharing the correct info, I don't think the video will be as capable as on the Canon R6 Mark III. So that's an area where I expect the Canon R6 Mark III with 7K and so forth to have the edge. Overall, I think that when it comes to the autofocus performance, I expect this camera to be superior to Canon R6 Mark III, although we need real-world testing to confirm this, but the new AI chip, the fast autofocus, 60 frames per second calculation, will help to really get you to a superb autofocus. I think that indeed if it has 14-bit 30 frames per second, that it will be superior to the Canon R6 Mark III. It has the pre-capture just like the Canon R6 Mark III, so for sports and wildlife photographers, this is a great camera. No open gate, yeah, that's a small annoying thing that I hope down the road they will fix, but overall I have the sense that the cameras are neck and neck. and the differences will be very small. So there is no like killer feature that will justify to buy one or other camera. And I always tell my readers, you don't buy a camera just for the sake of the features of the camera, but you buy into a system, which means the possibility to have multiple cameras that have the same mount, like on the Sony, is a great feature. Also the lenses on the Sony's E-mount system, there are many more lenses, third-party lenses, also exceptional lenses like the 5150 2.0 that you don't find in the Canon range. Canon has some nice tele lenses that Sony should still make, so it's all not really, it depends from your need, but I don't think the Canon R6 Mark III and the Sony A7V will be more or less on par in terms of performance, and I think if you're a Sony shooter, you will be happy with the camera. So that's really it for today. Again, check out the links in the description box to the Black Friday deals. I made a ton of work, so just check out also sonyfromos.com, where I have everything filtered so you don't miss deals on software, accessories, storage, or some lens and cameras deals that might be interesting for you. Again, like this video to help me YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and I see you very soon with the next info, hopefully about more of the video side part, and also some confirmation about the 14-bit 30 frames per second, and also that other unique hardware feature that the Sony A7V has that could be advantageous in terms of many things to come down the road when Sony will announce their other cameras in 2026. See you very soon.